Rito, have you been practicing your goal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember what your goal is?
5 Vignette.
Yep. Excellent. So pick a just right book. How do you think you've gone with practicing this goal?
Good.
Good. Have you been practicing it with every new book? Yeah? Alright, let's see if this is a just right book. There's hardly any words on the page. Alright, maybe we'll pick another book. You read this one? Did you use the 5-finger test?
Yeah.
Yep. Let's open it up and see. It's better.
Run down a long corridor.
Individual reading conferences provide the most useful opportunities for formative assessment of students' reading, assessment for teaching and learning. They allow teachers to gather information about their students' reading habits, interests, process, and strategies. Identifying each student's successes and difficulties during the actual act of reading is crucial for teachers who wish to provide the most appropriate teaching and learning experiences for individuals, groups, and the whole class. Reading conferences may be brief conversations as a teacher moves around the room checking in on how particular students are going with their reading, but they can also be more in-depth. More in-depth conferences may take 10 to 12 minutes, especially when a teacher is initially finding out about a student's reading. All conferences should focus on what students are doing as readers, provide students with feedback about their strengths and the result of their efforts and suggest the next goal, and establish tasks that will help students improve their reading. Students should always be active participants in the conference by talking about what and how they have been practicing, responding to the text or texts they have been reading, articulating the processes and strategies they are using, and stating new goals and describing how they will achieve them. Reading conferences should always include or conclude with next steps for the student, even if it is different from what the teacher anticipated. Teachers need to know and keep a record of what they have discovered about the student as a learner. What are their reading strengths? What are their needs? What are they interested in? And what is getting in the way of their learning? Students need to know what they have achieved and what to do next, and this should be recorded in their personal reading notebook or reading journal, perhaps by the teacher or by the student, in the student's own words or as much as possible. The purpose of reading conferences focuses on students' general hobbies and interests, on their reading interests, so topics, genres, and authors, when they read, what they think about reading, and about themselves as readers. It is also to find out what they like to read at home and what else they like to do at home. It is a time to develop a relationship with the student that shows you are genuinely concerned about getting to know them and that you are really interested in what they do as readers. This is also a time to find out what they know about the act of reading. What strategies do they use to help their reading? What do they know about comprehension strategies? What do they do when they come to a word they do not recognize? How do they clarify the meaning of a word? And do they self-correct to ensure meaning? If students have previously been working with teachers who have up-to-date knowledge about components of reading such as the 6 main comprehension strategies and about fluency, vocabulary and decoding, and have been taught in ways that empower students to articulate what they are doing as readers, will be able to provide a great deal of information about what they know and what they are working at. This information will be much more helpful than any formal assessment tool.